morning and good luck, and welcome back to Good Luck with Gino. I'm your host, Gino the Ghost, and you're tuned into episode 115 of the fastest growing podcast in the world. If you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you hit that like button, save it to your device, send it to a loved one, give it a 5-star review, then maybe send it to an arch nemesis or an ex-girlfriend. And then you're gonna head on over to YouTube, right? And you're gonna be on YouTube because you should be. Isn't that right, Gengar? And then you're just going to go ahead and gently nuzzle up against that like button, but you are going to physically assault that subscribe button if you haven't already. And then you're going to leave a comment and grease up that algorithm because you're an old man. Yeah. And yeah, let's just get right into the week. We got a lot going on. You'll notice my voice is a little cooked today, and that's because I got back from Vegas about 4 hours ago. And, yeah, it was, my body keeps telling me no, as it pertains to the consumption of alcohol and trying to have a conversation in a nightclub. But we fight on. We'll talk about Vegas in a second. First, I want to talk about the live music review show that I did last week. I did the first ever inaugural official live music review tournament last week, and it was an absolute fucking smashing success. We had so much fun. We handed out prizes. We had a winner. It's just so much. It was so much fun, dude. Everybody learned something. Everybody met people. We had networking happening in the chat. I mean, the music was unbelievable. And we're gonna do one every week if we can. We're gonna do one this week. I'm trying to figure out what day. Probably a Wednesday. It's giving maybe Wednesday night, maybe Tuesday night. We're not sure yet. Wednesday or Tuesday night. And I'll have more info on that soon. So just pay attention to my Instagram story. 2 of the finalists, Will Baskin, a writer and producer and songwriter, and Tony Chetta Paisan, a producer, put together a new podcast intro for me. They sent it over to me. Now, we're going to decide as a class if this is the new intro or not. You know, this is going to be replacing the classic OG intro, but it's so fire that I don't know. We might have to do it. Here it is. Here's the new podcast intro that was submitted to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
One time for the folks that know him, 2 times for the Grammy Awards, 3 clicks on the bell like sub button. Good luck, G, bring it back for more. Everything he touched go crazy. Crypto punkin' baby. LA to Vegas, catch him in your city, better hide your main bitch. Good luck, baby. Good luck, baby. Good luck, baby. Show about to start soon. Good luck, baby.
I mean, pretty fucking sick, huh? What do we think, chat? So do we love it? Do we want to shorten it? Let me know what you guys think of the new intro, and we'll leave it up to the community to decide. But I want to shout them out for coming up with that. It's super fucking sick. Okay. Let's talk about Vegas. Oh boy. I had a rough one. I want to talk about getting to Vegas. So the day before my flight, I booked a flight for Thursday night. And the flight to Vegas from LA is only like an hour. And I always just fly out of LAX because it's just what I'm used to. But if you fly out of Burbank, it's just so easy. There's an airport called Burbank Airport. It's much smaller. It's a little bit more expensive to fly out of there, but you literally just like show up and fly out of there. You get to the airport, you just walk in. There's like one TSA line. You walk through it. You're at your plane. So I'm looking at flights the day before, and they're like really fucking expensive for no reason. They're like $400, $500. And I'm like, I don't want to spend all this. I'm going to fucking Vegas. It's like a skip over the pond. So I do something that I promised myself I would never do again. I booked a Spirit Airlines flight because it was $200. I know, because it was $200. And I'm like, it's only an hour. So how bad could it be, right? I haven't flown Spirit in ages. But I did it. I booked the flight. It was $200. I even upgraded to Spirit first class for an extra like $30. Okay. Just to give you an idea of what Spirit first class looks like. So I'm like getting ready for my flight. It's like noon. My flight's at 8:30 p.m. At noon, I get an email from Spirit that says, your flight has been delayed to 9:30. So my flight got delayed an hour from 8:30 to 9:30. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fucking annoying, but it's cool. I'll still get there at 10:30. Nobody does anything in Vegas until like midnight anyway. And no big deal. Whatever. It's fine. So I'm now planning my day around the fact that my flight is at 9:30. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll leave at like 8, so I get there at like 8:30. I'm not checking a bag. I'll just get there. I get in. I'm in and out. It'll be great. So at 8 o'clock, I call my Uber and I get another email from Spirit that says, your flight is now scheduled for 9 p.m. They reverse delayed my flight. My flight went forward in time. Like they pushed it up. An hour before my flight, they said, oh, hey, by the way, your flight's actually in 54 minutes. Hope you're here. Well, guess what? I wasn't there. And instead, I was sitting in the Uber of the slowest driver in Los Angeles County. This guy, and I don't like to be this guy, because I'm a firm believer of like, just get there early, don't rush your Uber driver. He's just doing his job. You don't want him to break any traffic laws. They're underpaid. It's a tough job. And again, I did this. I was an Uber driver for years, so I sympathize. And I said, hey, man, don't want to be this guy, but I'm going to miss my flight probably. And it would really be great. I'm not telling you to speed, but if you can anything you can do, right, to get me there as soon as possible. And he goes, oh, okay. Going 30 and a 35. Not making lights. Driving 55 on the 101 where the speed limit is 55. Okay? Now, I get to the airport and I get there at about 8:40. Remember, my flight it's at like 9:04 departure. So I'm like, okay, I know that Spirit Airlines is not leaving on time. There's no way. They don't do anything on time or well, right? So I'm like, I can get there quickly. I'm not checking a bag. I have pre-check. I have all this shit, And I go to the gate. There's nobody there except for 2 people. And they don't look happy, which is a foreboding sign. And I go, hi, I have a flight. I'm running really late. I just need you guys to quickly like give me my boarding pass or whatever the fuck, because Spirit Airlines, they don't give you a boarding pass on your phone unless you check in. Well, guess what? I couldn't check in because the app didn't work. So I can't check in because their dog shit app doesn't work. And I'm like, well, no big deal. When I get there, I'll just take care of it. And they go, we're sorry. The doors are closed. You're not going to make your flight. And I said, hey, you're not going to tell me that the doors are closed. I'm going to let the people at the gate tell me that the doors are closed because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're at the front. So I need you to just give me my boarding pass so I can get to the gate because I'm not going to miss this flight. I need to be in Vegas. And they're just, when I tell you, this poor girl, her IQ may have been 40. She was not equipped to handle somebody like me. And I'm trying to be patient because I know this. I know that she's stupid. You know what I mean? I know that she's dumb. And she can't process the information that I'm giving to her in a timely fashion. So I'm like, hey, can I speak with your supervisor or somebody? Because this is insane. You guys moved the flight up, okay? How the fuck am I supposed to know you're going to time travel And the other two people there, guess what? They're saying the same thing. You moved up our flight. You can't do that to people. That's insane. Okay. As we're arguing for about 15 minutes because I'm assuming, well, now at this point, I'm trying to figure. On the overhead, it goes, flight going from Las Vegas to LAX, flight number blah, 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 blah. The doors are now closed. And at the top of my lungs, when I tell you, I go, oh, so the doors weren't closed then. I go, oh, so you're telling me you could have given me my fucking ticket and I could have got on the plane? And they didn't have anything to say. And then I said, oh, you don't have anything to say, do you? Just like that. And I'm screaming. Now, I don't do that, right? I'm patient. I'm a professional. I'm a public figure. I can't be crashing out in public. What if I get recorded? Didn't care. Full-blown meltdown. Screaming. Red in the face. This poor girl. I just lambasted her verbally. And the guy next to her, an elderly gentleman, pack him up. Send him to the retirement home. He's also not equipped. I hit him with the consider using critical thinking skills line. And then I go, all right, well, listen. Now I'm going to have to book a fucking $500 flight out of here. So I'm going to need my money back for your piece of shit airline. And I'm saying these things verbatim. I am having a crash out. Okay? And they go, we can't offer you a refund. And I go, like fucking hell you can't offer me a refund. You're going to give me a refund. We can't. I go, well, let me talk to your supervisor because you clearly aren't equipped to handle the situation. Okay, well, our supervisor's at the gate right now. He'll be here. I go, he's at the gate. What the fuck is he doing at the gate? The doors are closed. The flight's gone, right? The flight left 45 minutes later. And I know that because that's when the supervisor arrived. Supervisor gets there. He tells me that he can't help me either. I have to call a 1-800 number to get a refund. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to get that fucking refund. But what I am going to do is I'm going to tank the dog shit company even farther into the ground by spreading the story. Spirit Airlines, suck my dick. I will destroy you. Do you understand? I will ruin you. I've now moved on from American Airlines, my former nemesis. It's over with them. I got a new target. I will fucking, I'm going to own your company by the end of the year. I'm going to be a major shareholder. You're going to have to pay me back in equity. So anyway, after I have a full-blown a stage 10 Karen meltdown at the airport, these two other people who are just like horrified looking at me, but also sharing my frustration. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to buy a $500 flight on like United to get out of here tonight. And the other girl goes, well, I can't do, I'm going to just maybe try to take a Greyhound or something. And I'm like, take a Greyhound? That's insane. Like, that's going to take like 6 hours. You might as well just rent a car. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that's a genius idea. I go, guys, you want to rent a car? And they're like, yeah, fuck it. Why not? How much is it? I'm like, it's like $150. So the three of us, complete strangers, rented a car and drove to Vegas at 11 o'clock at night. And man, we bonded. We had a great time. The girl insisted on driving. Like insisted on it. I found out after she told me, she was like, yeah, to be honest, I just wanted to like make sure you guys weren't like going to kill me or like drive me somewhere. So and I'm like, hey, totally get that. That's fine. I got to be a passenger princess. So yeah, that was just a totally normal LA experience. Vegas was fun. Had a great time. again. Just lost my voice. My body hates me, but it's okay. We're going to come back and recover. And yeah, let's just get into the week. Yeah. I'm going to have a sip of this unbranded water, and we got a lot to cover. Not as much as last week, but still a lot to cover. We're going to do more laughing than last week. Last week was a very serious episode. I mean, it was still funny, of course, naturally, but a little bit more serious. This week, we're having a fun time. Okay. First video. Let's just jump into this. It's about this white-only town in Arkansas, and I've been laughing at this for about 4 days. Here we go.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills, in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
Yeah, and nothing says preserving white culture like a Under Armour polo.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
you don't let everyone into your home.
Yeah. That's segregation, right? So let's just call it what it is, Owen.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors.
Return of the land, What land? Mount Caucasus? A whites-only town in rural Arkansas. Isn't that just the default setting? That's basically just like the Arkansas template. Sorry, black people. You cannot live in this dusty-ass town in rural Arkansas. Sorry. Bad news, homosexuals. No queers allowed in this quaint village in Who Gives a Fuck, Arkansas. Look at this fucking place. So they're just building a trailer park? This place looks boring as fuck, dude. Who would want to live there? Hot take. We should allow more settlements like this in Bumblefuck America. I think we should just give these people the entire state of Arkansas. Or one of the Dakotas. Or Montana. Nobody actually lives in any of those places. Let's just put all the racists in those states. Let's just give it to them. Build your America. Let them secede, No resources, no FEMA, no subsidies, no seasoning, no Taco Tuesdays. They can have it. We don't want you here. This is the BET, what about white entertainment television? Incarnate. Right? I can see the comment section now. What's the difference between this and a black neighborhood or an Asian neighborhood? Motherfuckers are acting like they set up a Little Caucasian in Los Angeles. This is basically just an Amish settlement with cell phones. Look at the women. Hold on, there's another clip with the women. Here we go.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I, I'm 32. I'm a lady.
This is Return to the Land, a group of millennials who organised online to build something radical and controversial. A town for white people only. that they insist is completely legal. We spent several days with them, watching as the men set about the physical labour of building out the site. All the while, the women of the group took on the more typically trad, homesteading type roles.
I guess I found the people through Twitter that ended up starting this project, actually spearheading it, and I went out to the first April event last.
Not a top lip in sight, you know?
And it was really fun.
The sort of white-only aspect of this, how important is that to you guys?
Given the premise that it's something that is kind of off limits for whites but is okay by implication for other groups, I do feel it's necessary to carve that out, and you kind of have to do it yourself.
It's kind of like if we don't do this, the laws are only getting worse as far as freedom of association goes. So it's kind of like we have to do this or...
Caitlin. Wait a minute. Are we sure that Caitlin here isn't mixed? Call me crazy, but I'm taking a little gander at Caitlin. Are we sure she's a purebred white? It looks to me like the breeder lied on the Craigslist listing. Somebody from Whitesville is going to pull her card one day and make her take a 23andMe. Because if you're asking, my eyes don't deceive me. The dope is stepped on. You need to cut it.
there might come a time where it's not possible.
Yeah, dude. Caitlin's got a little bit of seasoning in there. One of Caitlin's grandparents. I don't know.
Too.
Are you guys aware sort of, people are going to be watching, it's going to be controversial?
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah? What's the biggest misunderstanding?
Well,
That we hate everyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't hate everyone else. We just don't want them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about that
yeah,
by any means.
it's a loving movement.
Yeah, it's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be it could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them. And it's like if other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Nikki. Tell him, Nikki. Tell him, Nikki. Why can't we segregate, huh? Where are all the whites only towns, huh? Like, have you ever been to Vermont?
It's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family,
you're a
my
fucking
children,
hero.
my children's
You're a real hero,
children.
Nikki.
The leader, Eric Orwell, wants the community to grow.
The leader. There's a leader? So it's just a cult then. Oh, it's a sex cult. Oh, okay. There's a leader. These always just end up being sex cults. Anytime there's a leader, in a settlement in the fucking middle of nowhere. Bro does not care about preserving the white race. He just wants to fuck as many white women that don't wash their hair as possible. That's the objective. And the inbreeding is imminent, by the way. The family tree is just a trunk. You know what I mean? I can't wait for the Jonestown part of this arc, The Jonestown Waco chapter is going to be electric. That'll show those pesky minorities. Preserve your culture by mass suicide. Well, we all know they won't drink the Kool-Aid, but maybe they'll drink the prune juice or the eggnog. What's like a white drink? Eggnog's probably the whitest drink I can think of. Almond milk. Yeah. Yeah, they'll drink the almond milk. Anyway, so that's great. I can't wait to take a trip up there. You think they'll allow me up there? I'm Italian. I'm not white. I'm Italian. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about, it's a little political, and you guys know I don't like to get political, so we are going to jump into, the number one most trusted source of news and lead correspondent, Gino Borri. Gino, why don't you take it from here, yeah? Welcome to GNN, your leading source of news, politics, and this week, we're talking about Epstein again. And now your host, Gino Borri. Good afternoon. I'm your host, Gino Borri, and this is the news. Are you guys still talking about Epstein? Are you still talking about this list? I don't want to talk about this every fucking week, but every week, another bombshell drops in the Epstein saga. So, news came out that the Justice Department told Donald Trump in May that his name is in the Epstein files, that they hired somebody to scour the Epstein files to find his name, and oops, they found it. Oh, there it is. Oh, and there. Oh, and there too. Oh, and there another time. Oh, it's littered. What date in May did this happen? We don't know exactly, but my guess, if I were a gambling man, which I am, would probably be May 18th, which was the day that FBI Director Kash Patel and Dean Bondingo went on Fox News to suddenly tell everybody that Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. So surely that was no coincidence. And the thing is, look, the story is just not going away, clearly. And not only is it not going away, it's spiraling, it's snowballing, it's getting spicy. So let's see how Donald Trump is handling it. This happened a couple days ago.
Who's eager to get out of prison?
Well, he's a professional lawyer. I think he's been through things like this before. But, you should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, should not be president.
I'll give you a list. You have a list? So, hold on. So, the list that doesn't exist, but was made by Hillary Clinton and Obama to make Trump look bad, is now in fact real and has Bill Clinton on it? So Hillary put her husband on the list to make Trump look bad? Is that what we're going with here? Bro sure knows a lot about the intimate details about Jeffrey Epstein that literally nobody else knows about. So his defense of I wasn't on the list was, I knew about everything for decades and was also president while the trial was beginning and didn't say anything? Also love that his main pillar to stand on is, I didn't go to the island. He's adamant about saying that because maybe he didn't go to the island. But I'm sure he's been to that house. I'm sure he's spent plenty of time and plenty of parties and been on that jet to God knows where, doing God knows what. When the other shoe drops on this scandal, it's going to make Watergate look like the Connor Stallion scandal. It's going to be delicioso. And this is hilarious because this is for sure a situation where Donald Trump needs to not talk about this anymore publicly and stop saying stuff, but he just doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. He just can't help himself. Every time he talks about this, he sounds more guilty, So all this is happening. Meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Epstein's convicted accomplice, recently met with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who is Trump's former personal attorney, by the way, for 2 days of interviews in federal prison in Florida. and she reportedly answered questions about over 100 individuals without invoking privilege, which, to be clear, is just corruption. It's just corruption. Just playing right in front of your fucking face. Oh, the attorney of the guy that's on the list is interviewing the only person left that can potentially get him out of it? The person that, by the way, is seeking immunity? The person that's seeking a full pardon and immunity? Here's what's going to happen here. You don't need me to tell you this, but if you do need me to spell it out for you, Trump is going to give Ghislaine Maxwell a full pardon in exchange for the list, which will include a ton of Trump's political opponents and definitely not him. And then MAGA will crown Trump for exposing the ring, and everybody will attempt to march on like nothing happened. But guys, it's not going to work. He'll probably get away with it because nothing bad happens to shitty people anymore, apparently. But it's not going to work. This scandal's not going away. And it's now shaping voter trust ahead of 2026. The GOP is fucked. It is going to be a bloodbath in midterm elections. A bloodbath. There's a crack in the dam. There's a crack in that MAGA dam. Only the most devout are going to fire out in those polls. They're going to get smoked. I don't know if Trump's going to be able to patch it. And health-wise, I don't know if he's doing so hot. And I'm just going to take a sip of unbranded water and leave it at that, yeah? That's going to do it for GNN this week. Just a quick one, in and out. We're not going to talk about Epstein the whole time of every episode. I'm sick of it. I'm exhausted by it. I'm so tired of being right. It's just a burden. Every week I got to get on here and fucking be right again. It's like, all right, time to sit down for another hour of being right and then getting told by idiots in my comment section that I'm wrong, only to come back on here and tell them that I was right once again a couple weeks later. Anyway, I think we should just get to everyone's favorite segment. Yeah, Pikachu, what do you think? I agree. It's time for the FOH HOF, the Fuck Outta Here Hall of Fame. And this first clip, it's a fun one. Let's just dive right into it. Yeah, here we go.
So they made me read book. I could read a book so quick. Like I could read 1,000 books in the fucking week.
You could do that?
Yeah, because I was like trained to read.
Damn, and because of that, they put you in special ed?
Well, in special ed, they train you. It's special ed.
Oh, okay.
So you get talents that nobody else gets in the school because you're special ed. So they're pushing things on you.
Yeah. Yeah, bro's special, all right. He even had his own special bus that he got to ride to school in. 1,000 books, huh? I didn't realize special ed was the X-Men Academy. They just gave him special book reading superpowers. 1,000 books a week? What was bro reading? One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Bro was reading Goodnight Moon. Green Eggs and Ham. He was reading pamphlets. You know that my boy here reads with his finger, right? A 1,000 books a week, maybe 1,000 words a week, This dude was flipping through coloring books. Said he was trained to read books. Did I hear this correctly?
So they made me read book. I could read a book so quick. Like I could read 1,000 books in the fucking week.
You could do that?
Yeah, because I was like trained to read.
I was like trained to read. Everybody was trained to. I was trained to read. You mean taught to read? Trained to read. Like it's the fucking special forces. The special ed forces. Like he was doing supersets in between chapters. A 1,000 books a week. That's like 140 books a day. My boy Ty Lopez is in shambles. Dude, only 1,000? Only 1,000. If you can read 1,000 books a day. Here's the thing. I read 1,000. I break my day up into 3 days. Right? So I'm reading 1,000 books 3 times a day. From 6 to 12, that's day 1. I'm reading 1,000 books. Day 2, another 1,000 books. I'm kicking your butt. Day 3, that's 3,000 books. Stacked it up over a week, I'm an encyclopedia of knowledge. Stacked it up over a month, my mind palace is a library of books and knowledge that I've accumulated. Next video. Here we go. Yeah. Man, tough. This is a really tough video. Extremely emotional, evocative. Try not to cry when watching this one.
How much was your airplane?
Oh, dude, it's a poor person jet, but $3 million.
There's no such thing as a poor person's jet.
Dude, like tomorrow I'm dreading it. There's only 5 seats, one of those being a toilet. A lot of people would stay at saying it's 5 seats and not mention the toilet part. But I'm going to say it. And I'm going to have to tell this beautiful creature in front of me, hey, we have to do a fuel stop because we have so many people and we can't fly for 3.5 hours straight. It's going to crush me.
You still own a jet.
It's nothing special.
So we got to do a fuel stop in my $3 million jet.
And then that again, it's embarrassing. You got to leave that price out.
But how is that, bro? That's like
a jet, bro. If you have a jet, it should be like 10.
Bro. The thing that's funny about this is he's insecure for being just a teeny tiny bit rich. I think people see a clip like this and they think like, oh, he's just trying to humble brag. No, he's real life insecure about this jet because he's lower class rich. And what a lot of people don't realize is when you start to make like real money and get rich, you start hanging around other rich people and you realize, wow, I don't have any money. Your worldview of wealth is so fucked if you don't know yourself and are not confident in yourself that you actually think this. He really thinks this. He's lower class rich. And he's right. Brother, a $3 million private jet? Actually embarrassing. It's a poverty PJ. He put the poverty in PJ. This is the Spirit Airlines of private jets. A $3 million jet is the equivalent of like a BMW 3 Series. Just don't buy a BMW. You buy a BMW 3 Series, just get a Camry. You know? Bro's flying in a shoebox. This is a... Just buy a hot air balloon, you know? Just buy a blimp. When you fly a $3 million jet, you actually have to grapple out of the plane midair like Tom Cruise to refuel it. You know? He said he's going to be embarrassed when he tells the woman flying with him they're going to have to stop and refuel the jet. Buddy, she's about to just hop out and call an Uber for the rest of the way. She's not getting back in that clunker junker piece of shit. A $3 million jet. Imagine. Just take Jet Suite, buddy. All right, last video. We're just flying through it. Look, it's going to be a bit of a quicker episode this week. I lost my voice. Sorry. Cry about it. Last video. This is courtesy of our good friend Sean Michael Kelly's podcast, which just, I want to thank Sean again. Just gives me constant material. I mean, it's a never-ending treasure trove of just gems. And this is one of my favorites. Here we go.
Your car air freshener is turning you gay. It is depleting you of testosterone. It is wrecking your hormones. I just was in an Uber and the Uber driver had like a pack of car fragrance trees.
That happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
I had to hold my breath the whole ride.
Exactly. It's disgusting, right? It needs to be banned. None of the artificial fragrance air fresheners in a car. So I tell the Uber driver, you realize that those are turning you gay. He parks to drop me off. He immediately grabs the pack of trees and he puts them in the trash can and goes, thank you for telling me that. That's all it takes.
I can't believe people still use those.
I just saved that man's balls. Those can make you very, very sick. It can make it hard to get pregnant. I mean, there's a myriad of issues with anything that has perfume or fragrance that's artificial in it.
Fellas, is it gay to freshen up your vehicle? It's true, actually. I used to have an air freshener in my Tesla, and every time I tried to use full self-driving, it would route to the Abbey in WeHo. If you put too many air fresheners in your car, it'll actually start to identify as a Subaru. Like a transformer. And that's a good joke. That's a good joke. It's a really good joke, actually. That's a really good joke. Yeah, this is, I mean, this video, huh? Uber driver had a forest worth of gay car cologne in his car. And she saved his balls. She saved his life, actually. How to save a life? Where did I go wrong? I lost my balls. You know that song? Who was that again? How to Save a Life? Dude, I love that song. How to Save a Life. The Fray, you know? Dude, what a great song that was. Yeah, I mean, look, man, all those fucking air fresheners are just, they're lowering your T levels, fella. They're turning you gay. Where's RFK Jr.? Where's RFK Jr. when you need him? Where's Alex Jones? First, I thought that the frogs were turning us gay. Now you're telling me anything that smells good artificially? Body wash, gay. Deodorant, gay. Cologne, gay. Fellas, you may use cologne to attract women, but what if I told you it was rewiring you into being attracted to men? I sprayed some Gucci Guilty on before I showed up today. Guilty of what? Liking dudes. Guilty of being just a teeny tiny bit queer. A little one to two spritzes more gay today. All because I wanted to smell good. Who's going to tell her that testosterone has nothing to do with your homosexuality? You know what I mean? Testosterone does not have anything to do with your sexual preference. Like
your car air freshener is turning you gay. It is depleting you of testosterone. It is wrecking your hormones.
It's that's just not how. I know gay guys that are 10 times more T than like the majority of straight men. Just like so loud and wrong and dumb.
Was in an Uber and the Uber driver had like a pack of car fragrance trees.
That happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
I had to hold my breath the whole ride.
Now, I want to be clear. I do fucking hate those things, right? Like, don't use those, please. Like, there's other ways to make your car smell good. Like, just go get it detailed and cleaned. Or stop, smoking cigs in it or fucking whatever. But like,
it's disgusting, right? It needs to be banned. None of the artificial fragrance air fresheners in a car. So I tell the Uber driver, you realize that those are turning you gay. He parks.
It's such an insane thing to say to somebody. You realize those car freshener trees are making you gay, right? What if he was gay? What if the Uber driver was gay? He'd be like, well, okay. Fortunately, that's fine with me, Oh, my fucking God, dude. What are we? All right. I just can't. I can't even. I simply can't. Oh, God, there it is. You see how it just slipped out of me? It just came out of me just now from all that cologne that I used today and the body wash and the deodorant. Fuck, dude. I want to thank you for tuning into I want to thank you for tuning into Good Luck this week. If you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, hit that like button, save it to your device, send it to a loved one or an arch nemesis. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, isn't that right, Gengar? Make sure you flick that like button, smash the ever-loving fuck out of that subscribe button. Maybe you want to be a top or a bottom with that subscribe button. And then you're going to go ahead and grease up that algorithm by leaving a comment because, well, you're an old man. And yeah, just to recap, we have a new music review live tournament. I'm going to be on Kick. Stream. Go follow me on Kick. Hey, if you're watching right now, go to kick.com/Gino the Ghost and follow me on Kick right fucking now. And yeah, I want to thank Beyonce for making this all possible. As always, thank you, Beyonce. What's the opposite of thank Spirit Airlines? Spirit Airlines, go fuck yourself, yeah? Go ahead and fuck yourself forever. And yeah, that's going to do it. And I want to thank Will Baskin and Tony Chetta for the new podcast intro. Remember, guys, tell me what you think about that. And that's going to do it for this week, guys. We'll see you same time next week. And until next week, as the world continues to crumble beneath our feet, good night and good luck.
There's a brand new show that you got.
Pikachu, what's the name of that brand new show you gotta know? With who?
With Gino.
That's me.
It's gonna get you moving, get you in the zone. Good luck, good vibes, good times. With Gino by your side, you'll be feeling fine. Every week, he's gonna bring the hype. So come on, let's go. Tune in online.
Bitch. Fuck you, Spirit.